I've been brought up in a Christian home, made to go to Sunday school, and every meeting out east, I'm from Massachusetts, Little Assembly, Methuen. Every time there was special events or meetings, it was either Methuen or Boston, which is now Saugus. We were made to go to meeting. And I knew from an early age that I was a sinner, and I knew I was going to hell. And I knew I needed to be saved, but I kept putting it off. So before I continue, I'd just like to read John 3:16, which is on the wall behind us. That's the verse that helped me see my need for salvation. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should have eternal life. Just a little bit of my life. In some of the gospel meetings that we went to, especially in Boston, the ones I remember was within winter of 1972, February, with Mr. Bingham and Mr. Hull. If you guys know them, they were pretty loud and anxious, and they made heaven real and they made hell real, which I knew, but I guess my pride got the best of me. A few of my cousins got saved in that meeting. But going to those meetings, especially in Boston, about an hour from my house, 45 minutes. We always got a ride with Uncle Pat, and he took us, picked us up, and he would go way out of the way, and going to meeting with his boys. Then after meeting, like James was telling us, we were taught to get out in the car, and it's serious. But in those meetings, it was pretty serious, but at the end of those meetings, it was wintertime. Meetings started at 7:30, didn't get home to 10:30, in school the next day for 6 weeks. But try to get past Mr. Hull and Mr. Bingham. And not so much that, but as you put your coat on, my uncles would grab your shoulders and say, "Are you saved?" That spoke to me more than anything else. But then getting in the van with Uncle Pat spoke to you all the way home. I'm like, come on, we just heard this. I had enough of this. But we'd always try to get a 15-passenger van. We'd always try to get in the back seat. And he would say, boys, somebody sit up front. We knew what he was going to do. And we'd pretend we were sleeping and needed to hear another hour of gospel meeting. But they were concerned for his kids and his nephews and nieces, and that was it. But those meetings came and went, and then that summer of 72, we moved to Ohio and went to Akron. Then in 1974, tent meetings came in Twinsburg, Ohio, between Akron and Cleveland Assembly with Mr. Paisley and Bill Snyder. But between that, John Slabo would have gospel meetings every summer, in our town, and with him or Bill Snyder, because they had interest in the kids from the hall, the Sunday school kids, and to see them saved. But meetings that really spoke to me, I was graduating high school, and I said, I need to get this settled. I need to, because I was drifting off in another way. I was working at a country club and kind of saw the scene out there. Don't recommend it. But their first week of gospel meetings, and I was graduating, I said, if it's not now, I'm done. I'm lost. I'm not going to get saved. I'm going to hell. That's it. I think that Monday night at work, went to work, walked in there and said, I quit. I knew it was important. My salvation was more important than work. I said, I got to get this settled. I don't know what else to do. But that Friday night, both preachers spoke on John 3:16. For God so loved the world. And I just sat there in meeting, and I always looked down, because every time I looked up at them, it looked like their eyes were staring right at me, and they probably knew I was probably concerned, just the way I was in the meeting, kind of paying attention and concerned. But after the meeting, I lingered back, sat down and spoke with them, and I says, I don't know what else to do. I give up. So they read some verses, and we went back to John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Well, that world was me. God so loved Ken. He died on the cross. I mean, it's all finished. He suffered, he bled, he died, he paid the price. And whoever believeth him should not perish. And I'm just sitting there. That's me. I don't have to perish. I can have eternal life. And that was on June 7th, 1974. And anybody that's not saved tonight or listening, our prayer tonight is that you may be reached and saved.